Wow, here we go again. Bob Arum says that Devin Haney needs to prove himself before fighting Teofimo Lopez. Devin fires back at Bob Arum. It don't look like we're going to get this fight. This is not a good look. We're going to talk about all that and more. Teofimo, Devin Haney, Bob Arum, the whole saga. It continues. Smash the like button. Stay tuned. Yo, what up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also, subscribe to my channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. If you want to become part of the gang, notification gang, please hit the bell icon. Shout out to the super chats, channel donations, the Venmo donations, the Cash App, and the Patreon family. We working. Cash App, $ Boxingego. Before I get started on Devin Haney and Teofimo, let you guys know what's going on. Sign up for ESPN Plus using my link. It does help the channel in a phenomenal way when you guys click on that link. ESPN Plus, they offer a ton of original content, docuseries, documentaries, archive of past fights like Teofimo and Lomachenko, and more. Get ESPN Plus as a standalone app. It's $5.99 a month. Or if you want more content, get the bundle, ESPN Plus, Hulu, and Disney Plus, all three of those apps for one low price of $12.99 by clicking my link. And it helps the channel continue to grow, put out content like this, and much more. Now, bad news, man. We got some bad news. Bob Arum is at it again. Top Rank's at it again. Let's jump right into it. So basically, Teofimo, he beat Lomachenko. Everybody praised him for the performance, said he did a great job. I picked him going into the fight to beat Lomachenko. I was right. And the moment we all feared, first the fat boys break up, and every day I wake up to some more BS. Now, this BS comes in form of comments recently made by Sir Bob Arum. This is ESPN. And you guys see it says, Devin Haney has to prove himself. It is all bullshit. Let him fight somebody that is real. Then you can match him with Teofimo Lopez, with Ryan Garcia. Again, he hasn't proved himself, but if he beats Campbell, then he proves himself. So there's a built-in excuse because Bob Arum is on record saying that he would entertain his fighter Teofimo, and Ryan Garcia. But now they're trying to front off Devin Haney, which he has a complicated style and he's been calling for the fight. And after Teo's last fight, he says he wanted to beat the email world champion or two-time email world champion Devin Haney. His pops called him out, which we'll get to in a second. And then all of a sudden, they're saying that Devin Haney has to do more in order to get the honor of fighting a guy like Teofimo. I mean, this is a bad look, people. This is a bad look. Devin Haney has been robbed of opportunity after opportunity. You can say whatever you want about the Gamboa performance. It is what it is. Gamboa lost every round. He didn't do anything extra to try to win. It's just Devin Haney, you know, people expected him to live up to his words, and I get that because he said he was going to dispose of him and all that. You see Jorge Linares in the comment section, he put chickens. The world knows this is not a good look for Teofimo's brand, right? I have so many ways and styles to break this down. It's not even funny. But first, we're going to start with a simple thing of what Teofimo Lopez said about Devin Haney right before the fight, or actually right after the Lomachenko fight. So let's start there.
Do you think Haney would fight you next, assuming he beats Gamboa? I don't care. I don't think any of these guys will step up to the plate. And if they do, they better be ready. Because I don't fear no man. I told you guys this. I don't care. I'm in there to fight. And if you're not there to fight with me, you're going to lose. If I take that fight, it's just for bragging rights, just to shut him up and destroy his career. That's really what it is. I don't care.
So right there, you have Teofimo, who says he doesn't believe any of the top guys will get in the ring with him. Once again.
Because I don't fear no man. I told you guys this. I don't care. I'm in there to fight. And if you're not there to fight with me, you're going to lose. I don't care. I don't think.
Do you think Haney would fight you next, assuming he beats Gamboa?
I don't care. I don't think any of these guys will step up to the plate. And if they do, they better be ready. Because I don't fear no man. I told you guys this. I don't care. I'm in there to fight. And if you're not there to fight with me, you're going to lose. If I take that fight, it's just for bragging rights, just to shut him up and destroy his career. That's really what it is. I don't care. That's the type of person I am. I ain't here to I'm not here to see another fighter build up his career. If he wants to take that step and fight, I'm more than happy to just take him out that route of what everybody's talking about, saying the next Floyd Mayweather and stuff like that. Yeah, get out of here with that bullshit. And for everyone else out there, man, everybody's is cherry picking. Gervonta Davis, why are you fighting Leo Santa Cruz? For what? That's a one.
So right there, Teofimo just says everybody else is cherry picking, and he'll take Devin Haney out because people are comparing him to the next Mayweather, which he doesn't feel is true. But your own promoter just says that Devin Haney, who's a champion, WBC champion, must prove himself in order to face you in a unification, which we'll get to that more in a second.
Get out of here with that bullshit. And for everyone else out there, man, everybody's is cherry picking. Gervonta Davis, why are you fighting Leo Santa Cruz? For what? That's a 130-pounder or a 126-pounder.
And keep in mind, Leo Santa Cruz fought a hell of a fight up until he was knocked out. And Leo, I will say Leo tried and put up more of a fight in the first 6 rounds of his fight, even though he got knocked out and decimated by a tank, than Lomachenko. Lomachenko was built up to be this great, boxing prodigy and the next Muhammad Ali, and he laid an egg and didn't do anything for 6 or 7 rounds at all. He had no answers. But we'll keep going.
That's sad, man. And you guys hype these guys up for so many things, but it's okay. It's okay. Just put them in front of me, and I'll beat them. I don't mind being the 2-time email world champion. You know what I mean? That'll be fine, I know a lot of people are already saying that this is not for Undisputed because of that. Whatever with Mauricio Suleiman and whatever he did. But I just got a belt that said franchise world champion, so from the WBC. And you got a guy like Devin Haney fighting Gamboa, a washed-out Gamboa, just for a record that he wants to keep it safe and pretty.
So right then and there, he says he don't mind becoming the 2-time email champion, a.k.a. by fighting Devin Haney. And he says Devin is fighting a washed-up Gamboa, and whatever Mauricio Suleiman, president of the WBC, did with the belts, this would provide clarity. But now Teofimo, his team, is saying that we won't get the fight. As you see on the screen again, Devin Haney has to prove himself. So at this point, listen, it's really looking like Top Rank. They have their own priorities, and this is the go-to move. And this way of promoting and things like that, it's like an archaic style of promotion that no longer works. It no longer works. Devin Haney has since responded to all of these things going on, and he reamed Bob Arum. You will see it on the screen. Devin Haney says yesterday, after all these things came out, these interviews, Bob Arum is everything wrong with boxing. LOL, saving face for Teofimo Lopez ducking. Weak Hall of Fame promoter tactics. BS, stay woke. Stay woke. Literally, as I was just saying this is a bad way for Team Lopez to go out, bro. He got a lot of credit from the Lomachenko performance, as he should. but this don't look good. Teofimo's a quality fighter. Devin Haney's a quality fighter. And listen, I got to address this. There are going to be people who say, oh, Devin didn't look impressive enough versus Gamboa. Look, oh, wow. Look what he just put. This is my first time seeing this, so this is live. I was just going to his page. I didn't know he posted this. Listen. We get down to the nitty gritty over here. Let me work. We get down to the nitty gritty. For the people who are saying that Devin didn't look superb versus Gamboa, he won every round. So that fight's over. He got the victory. He remained a champion. That's for starters. Who cares? You know, not every fight is going to be, especially, you know, off a pandemic. Who knows? Maybe he had ring rust. Who cares? Gamboa did nothing to win. Whether you thought Devin would have got the knockout, sometimes it don't play out like that. Because you look at Sean Porter. Sean Porter versus Ugas, I thought Ugas really beat him. But his next fight, he came correct in the meaningful fight and for a second title versus Errol Spence, and he fought his ass off. So sometimes it's going to be like that. Ugas, Sean Porter, he missed weight, had to cut his braid off because he couldn't make weight for whatever mishap or miscalculation. A guy who normally makes weight, but for that Ugas fight, he couldn't make weight first try. You know, he had to cut his hair or whatever and weigh in naked and all that. And then I thought he got dropped in the fight. They ruled it a slip. And I thought you guys beat him. So some fights are going to be like that. Some fights are going to be like that where it's just overall, it's chippy, you know, at best. Some fights, that's just how they turn out. But Sean Porter came correct versus Errol because he knew he had to. So we can't just discount Devin Haney off of because he didn't get a stoppage or look to your standards, right? Here's another thing. The other issue here is this. There's going to be people who bring up the Gamboa fight like, oh, he didn't look, blah, 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 right? But what does that have to do with two champions unifying? Wouldn't that be more of a case for Teofimo to go ahead and fight him now? Like, listen to what Teofimo's team and Bob Arum are saying. Let's just wait and let Devin Haney prove himself. So if you, this is how you know is cap. If Devin Haney looks so bad versus Gamboa and he has the last missing piece and link, we don't know how long Teofimo can even make 135 because he's talked about moving to 140. So if Devin has the last missing link and then if you beat him, he becomes undisputed, right? You capture that belt. So he's soft. He's weak. He looked bad versus Gamboa. This is the logic that they have, the fans. You got it. That's what I'm saying. Some of y'all can't be this dumb. Some of y'all can't be this dumb. Again, Devin Haney is so easy to beat for Teofimo. This will clarify the whole lightweight picture. And you beat Devin, you become undisputed with like it's undisputed with the fans. There's nothing that Devin or anybody, Bill Haney or anybody else could say. And you feel he's coming off a bad performance, wouldn't you strike while the iron's hot before you have to move up to 140? So it does look like a duck, like what's the name is putting on this graphic right here, right? Because your team, instead of going after the easy work, they're saying, no, let Devin fight other people and prove himself. But they're saying they'll fight Ryan Garcia right now. Ryan Garcia ain't even a champion. What has he done? You know, and you've seen a common denominator, an African-American fighter, yet again, Devin Haney, and people are trying to wait some time to fight him. So he must not be that bad, because if you listen to Ryan Garcia, who fought Devin Haney in the amateurs, Ryan Garcia said pretty much the same thing. He said he wants to fight Devin Haney, but he'll fight him last. He wants to go through Tank and all these other people first and then get to Devin Haney last because he respects him and he feels like that it'll be the most difficult fight or whatever he said. Go look it up. Ryan Garcia said this. Now Teofimo's team is telling this African-American fighter to get better. Why would you want your opponent to get better when you can handle the easy work, collect the belt, and then, you know, be forced to move to 140 because your body can't make it? That's how I know it's not easy work. Because if it was easy work, then you would just collect that paycheck, People will support it. I'll buy this fight. You know what I'm saying? If they do it on pay-per-view, whatever I need to do to watch it. And you know it's not easy work, period. Because easy work, you're supposed to, if you could easily do something, you easily do it. And you collect that bag and you get that belt and you move on with your life. But if you're not willing to do that, then there has to be some kind of roadblock. Here's another thing. This is why I said Top Rank, the little methodology of promotion in situations like this is why it's archaic and it will no longer work. Because say what you want about Devin Haney and Gamboa. He's still a champion. Devin is still a champion right now. To this day, Deontay Wilder voice, right? And boom. Boxing scene, link in the description. Lomachenko lost to Teofimo, and that was a great win for Teofimo. What does Top Rank and ESPN do with this momentum? They're trying to put him in there with George Camboso in Australia. So you have an American fighter from Brooklyn, really from Florida, but from New York, whatever, Florida, New York, and they're trying to take him out of the country to Australia to fight George Camboso. You guys see it. Teofimo Lopez, George Cambosos talks progression for possible title fight next year in Australia. Now, once again, I got to get you. Now I got to cut you. This is November 23rd, just before Thanksgiving, brand new article. So how can Devin Haney, a champion, he got past Gamboa, right? And people are going to say, oh, he didn't look sharp enough, but he got past him, won every round, and Gamboa is a bigger name than Lee Selby, and Devin Haney got past a gold medalist, and people are going to say, oh, but Devin, he didn't look good in his last fight. Well, guess what? They're talking about George Cambosos versus Teofimo in Cambosos' backyard in Australia, and he didn't look good in his last fight. Oh, my gosh. Y'all done summons the great Ego Valley. A lot of people, if you actually know boxing, felt that George Cambosos barely scraped by and or lost to Lee Selby, who came from the lighter divisions, right? So if we're talking about who's worthy of a fight and how people looked at their last fight, boom. Oh, my gosh. Lee Selby robbed of title opportunity by George Cambosos Jr. The judges, look at how it's written. The judges allow George Cambosos to shock Lee Selby because a lot of people believe that this was a robbery and Lee Selby really did enough to beat him. So for Top Rank, ESPN, and Team Lopez, how is George Cambosos, who is unheard of, how is that an option? And he's coming off a tough fight with Lee Selby where he arguably lost, but Devin Haney, he got to prove himself. He got to do more. We know it's a better fight, and he got to do all this stuff to earn his keep. And bro, it's all cap. It's all cap. Bro, the kid has money. He's known. He has support, right? More people know Devin Haney than George Cambosos, right? And that's not a knock on him, but it's the reality. So if it's easy work, you're supposed to handle the easy work. This is just a bad look for Teofimo. Bad take, bad look. This is what they do to black fighters, like I always tell you. This is what they do. You know, Devin Haney got to do more and continue to prove himself time and time again. But George Cambosos can come off a shaky performance with Lee Selby, and he might be the next person. So explain that. If you can make that make sense, I might do a raffle on my channel. Make it make sense how a more known, okay, ESPN is an American broadcaster. Devin Haney has his own promotional company, and he is a bigger name in America. He is an American. He's considered to be a better fighter than George Cambosos, right? And you said you were down to fight Devin Haney post Lomachenko, right? He gets the cosign from legends like Zab Judah. That's his godfather, right? And he's been around boxing his whole life. He got to do more. This is the Top Rank way, right? Bob Arum says Devin Haney got to do more to prove himself, but George Cambosos doesn't. You know, Richard Comey can have losses and get a fight. You know, I understand he was a champion, but guess what? So is Devin Haney. Boom. It's not looking good, y'all. It's not looking good at all. Hopefully they reconsider. If not, we'll just continue to make videos. But y'all know this is cap. Y'all know this is cap. You're not going to do this to Devin Haney. I'm from the Bay anyway, so y'all really not doing this to Devin Haney. Devin, he's been calling out the best, and whether they want to give that to him, those opportunities, or not, he's willing to fight his way out, right? He wanted Lomachenko. What did Top Rank do? Actually, hold on. Let me back that train up. He wanted Luke Campbell. Signed it. Eddie Hearn, thinking he was going to get an Eddie Hearn fight or Luke Campbell fight in his first fight with that signing and get a title shot. And then Top Rank, they came in and scooped the Luke Campbell vacant belt that Mikey Garcia left, the WBC belt. They talked to the WBC and said, hey, we want that belt. We want a shot at that with our champion, Lomachenko. They carefully guided Lomachenko. Then he beat Luke Campbell. And then after that, Devin Haney called out Lomachenko, called him Nomachenko. I mean, there's thousands of videos out and information. He called out Lomachenko. Lomachenko did what we're seeing with Teofimo's team do with Teo. Acted like they want the fight or they're down for the fight, but they're not trying to make the fight while Devin Haney is pressing the issue. So either way you slice it, this don't make sense. Devin Haney called out Lomachenko. It's up to Lomachenko to show that Devin sucks or he's not ready or beat him into submission or whatever you think would happen. If that doesn't happen, then it's cap. Same thing with Teofimo. He said he's an email champ, then fight him. Handle the easy work. Why would you want your opponent to get better to face you? Like, what part of the game is that? What part of the game is that where you want to give your opponent more of a shot to beat you by gaining experience? Why don't you get him right now? The fans want to see it right now. It's a good fight right now. Devin has a profile right now. Devin's a champion right now. Who are you to discern when his peak is? Like, come on, man. Top Rank, like Devin Haney said, they back with the same old tactics, and it is not flying. It is not flying anymore. This pandemic's hurting a lot of people. So if George Cambosos, who has no belt and barely squeaked by Lee Selby, who is a lighter guy, if he could get the fight, then there's no reason that Devin Haney is not eligible. You know, why Devin Haney, why black fighters got to prove themselves more and more, but George Cambosos out of Australia, he don't have to do more to prove himself. He don't have to shine versus Lee Selby. Man, get this out of here. Shut that soft ass shit up. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. As always, hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego signing off.
So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxingego, the future of boxing.